mouth wide, stuck open.
Me and my brother get together, it's a horror flick. Figures make the ground in the shape of a crucifix. Gruesome. Fucking a dead body raw like I'm gruesome. The worst that you ever saw, bitch. Me and my brother get together, it's a horror flick. Figures make the ground in the shape of a crucifix. Gruesome. Fucking a dead body raw like I'm gruesome. The worst that you ever saw, bitch. Evil dead, I'm rising up my fucking casket. Been a minute since I've been back, but let's get back at it. Illest tag team that you ever seen. It's the gruesome twosome, bitch. I take a bite out of your spleen. Something at the same time, so it turned into a feast. Two-headed demon with the mark of the beast. First victim was a priest, though he went easily. The religious type, they love to die, praying on their knees. Next person that I seen was a bitch clutching on her phone. Ripped her heart up out her chest and heard a dial tone. It's a tragedy, really. You thought this would be silly. Play up on the Ouija board and snort a couple pillies, but this shit is not funny. Organs hanging out your tummy. How you feeling, dummy? Watch my soul get ripped from me. I'm a monster. At least I've been labeled that, but in reality, a demon trapped inside an artifact. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Horror Corridor, and we are here with motherfucking Gruesome. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah, of course, man. We were going to have you on around the time of Gorefest, but then that happened, and then everyone got sick, and so it kind of got pushed back. But, you know, it gave me a big chance. I'm glad it happened this way, because your album is fucking out now, the self-titled.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was perfect timing. Now we can promote that, and there's a lot more music to talk about and all types of new shit to talk about. So I was really waiting for that to, like, announce a lot of other shit, but now that it's out, I've pretty much announced like everything I'm working on. So
hell yeah, dude. Well, I think it's great timing, so I think the good place to start would be, how about you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Gruesome. I'm from Nevada, Reno, Nevada. I'm part of Cerberus Clique, Illtrix. I'm also a solo artist, also a graphic designer, producer, trap extraordinaire.
Yeah, man. That's all.
But
it's a lot.
Yeah, I do a lot of shit. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just fucking weird.
That's cool, man. Well, what got you into music originally?
Like making music?
Yeah, or just music in general. Like what drew you to music?
I've always been like super into like music and art. But I've always been into music that like was weird. Or like looked weird. Like if you looked weird, I would fuck with you. I didn't even care. You know what I'm saying? I didn't care if you fucking I didn't care if you were good half the time. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm older, my tastes are a lot more refined. But like, yeah, dude, I grew up on like a lot of good shit.
So no more anal cunt nowadays.
No, I still fuck with it. See, that's the thing. I still listen to it. Like, I go back and listen to a lot of the things from my past. Like, I listen to music for nostalgia most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I end up listening to older music most of the time. But, like, yeah, I grew up on a lot of, like, Slipknot and, like, Mudvayne and, like, Mushroom Head and Korn and, you know, shit like that. So.
Hell yeah, man. For some reason, I've never been able to get into Mudvayne, but... the other ones I love. I think the singing parts were like too gentle for me or something. I don't know what it was, but
listen to
their hard shit was good. Like Dig.
Their hard shit's good, but I love their singing shit too, because it has like Not Falling is such a good fucking song, dude.
All right. I'll listen to it after this. I'm gonna listen to some Mudvayne. It's like while I'm editing.
And recently, so Mudvayne recently got back together and like reunited and went on a tour and shit.
Uh-huh.
And so Chad was on stage performing, and he fucking like right in the middle of his verse for Not Falling, he fucking fell off stage and like busted his shit. He was like bleeding everywhere. He was all fucked up. But it was so sick because he got up like right for the chorus and fucking just started killing it and was like in the crowd with everybody. So, like, it was so hype, dude. I wish I could have been there for that.
It was like a blood fountain on all his audience. That's awesome.
Dude, and everybody was just holding him up, and he was like, and the chorus is like, the song's called Not Falling, and the chorus is like, stand and shit, and he's just like bleeding it was sick, dude.
I love it when singers are like, I want everyone to move up. All right, this song's called Get the Fuck Out of My Face.
Yeah, dude. I like doing like, I don't know, man. I do a lot of shit that like rap crowds are not ready for.
I'm
So
into
like,
that,
there's a
man.
lot of people that are there for me, and they're down for it. But like, the people who are just randomly there sometimes on the outskirts, they are not happy when I'm just like, everybody split the fuck up and just murder each other when this song drops. Like they're not down for it. Like some dude in the corner just holding this girl, like if anybody touches me, my girl will fucking stab you. Like it's fire though. I've been
No, I
doing
mean,
walls of death and fucking mosh pit and like hip hop shows.
I don't think a lot of these hip hop shows have ever seen crowd killing or whatever from like, the hardcore shows where like that's, it was like a little fight club, you know what I mean? And like you get your
Dude,
fucking
back
aggression
in the
out.
day, motherfuckers were trying to fuck each other up. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw some crazy shit at hardcore shows. And then people would just like kick each other up and buy beers and like hug each other. And I was just like, y'all are fucking crazy,
Yeah.
son.
It
But
was
it was dope. Like, I've been doing hella hardcore shows lately. I have one coming up.
oh hell yeah.
I don't know when this is going to air, but I have one coming up on the 11th of November.
Who's that with?
Dolores is the headliner, and they're like a hardcore band from, I believe, like East LA, but they're like super fucking dope, dude.
Nice.
Um, like kind of like Chicano influence, but like hella hardcore. Like
Hell
their
yeah.
music's sick as fuck. And then there's like one's True Will and Occupier and like a bunch of other fucking metal and like hardcore bands and shit. So it's gonna be sick. And
Hell
then
yeah.
me in the middle of it.
That's dope, man. Like I always wish that there were people like you coming into our hardcore shows back in the day, because it would have
Yeah.
broken up the monotony a little bit. But yeah, and it
And
would be
that's the
awesome
thing.
to
I
see people
kinda,
knocking each other out to some trap music.
yeah, dude. And like so many people don't understand like how much those worlds coincide for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like a lot of people that fuck with like hip hop or hardcore hip hop would come out and be like, "Oh man, this band's sick as fuck" or whatever. And a lot of people that fuck with that band would come out and see me and be like, "Oh, what the fuck, this dude's dope." You know what I mean? So I'm trying to like mesh those communities because the community out here in Reno is fucked, bro. Like it
Yeah.
seems like every little community that's just a particular group or type of music or whatever the fuck, they all have their beefs within each other, so it's like everybody's like feuding with everybody, so like the crowds have just dwindled to what they were back in the day. So
Oh yeah.
but now we've been doing shit, we've been getting like good turnouts, so that yeah, I'm trying to like mesh the communities because there's a lot of like, it's crazy, bro. There's a lot of people that like support my shit that I would not ever think do out here. So
That's cool, man.
yeah,
Reno's always kind of had a reputation for being a violent city, like in all its subcultures. And like
yeah, it
I
can
even remember
go.
when I went on tour there, we were swimming in that river that goes by the casinos, and there was like a dude with a
Yeah,
Nazi tattoo on his back. We were like,
yeah,
"What the fuck? If we had shoes, we should jump him."
yeah, dude. Literally, like, yeah, I don't know. Reno's fucked, dude. I've seen a lot of shit living here, and I've lived in a lot of other places, like randomly for short periods of time. But yeah, I don't know. This is the place I've always called home, and it's like it can be crazy. Like I've definitely been to worse places. Like don't get me wrong. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I just lived in the ghetto over on Grove, and like there was people getting killed like outside my house, like at least one a week. Like
Oh no,
it was fucking like I look out my window and watch somebody get murdered type shit.
that
Um,
sucks. That's gotta be stressful.
yeah, I mean, I kind of grew up in like that's the thing. Reno can be pretty rough. I've lived in some shitty areas, so I'm kind of like, just put your head down and don't worry about it type shit.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm kind of used to it. Like, I don't know. I kind of feel comfortable in ghetto areas, but then it's like shit like that happens, and you're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for
this
sure.
this isn't where I should aspire to be at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of
So
other places, I guess, but yeah, I mean, it
yeah,
might feel like home now.
yeah.
Um,
So my place I'm at now is a big step up from where I was at. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So have you always lived there? Like, have you lived there since you were into music? Like, has that always been where your musical roots have been?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I moved back here when I was like 15 on my own, like 14 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom moved to New Hampshire with my little brother. And my dad was dead at that point. And so I fucking took a Greyhound from New Hampshire all the way to Reno. Well, that's like a fucking 3-day Greyhound. I had my homie send me some money. And then he was old enough to get on a lease. So me and him had an apartment.
Hell
I
yeah.
was just, hustling, doing what I always knew how to do, making up money.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I've been on my own since I was like fucking 15. And that's pretty much where I've always been is here. You know what I mean? And that's around the time I started doing shows too. I was like 16, 17 when I started doing shows and like really actually putting in time to be an artist and shit.
So would
But I
that be
was in like
the
a 7-person group and it was just rough. Like everybody's stepping on everybody's toes. Nothing could get done because everybody was like procrastinating. So nothing really ever came of that.
was
But
that the Carnies from the Crypt?
no, that was Illtrix. Illtrix used to be 7 people. Now it's just me and Maniac. And ever
Oh,
since it's
okay.
been me and Maniac, we've been like putting shit out, and
Oh,
grinding.
okay.
But no, Carnies from the Crypt was me and my brother Effect, who passed away.
Oh,
That's why we have the album Forever Effect. That was the first album we did for Illtrix because
yeah.
that was like right around the year he died. So
Okay.
yeah, that whole album's dedicated to him. Dude was like my best friend for like 11 plus years. And he died in a fucking car accident on his like a day before his 28th birthday.
Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
That's the worst, you know? I'm sure that still
it was
fucks you up.
fucked up, dude. And yeah, I was like with him. Like I was at his house. We were about to go do whatever. I think he was going to get liquor for his birthday party tomorrow, like the next day, because he didn't even drink, but he was like buying it for his party. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we were going to like Total Wine or some shit like that. But like last second, he told me to go do some shit I was gonna do because I was like, I'll go do that, but I'll just do it after. And he was like, well, why don't you just go do that, and then we'll both meet up and be done with what we have to do. So I went and did that, and then he didn't hit me up. So I went to my house and I was waiting for him to hit me up, and then his fucking brother called me and told me he fucking passed away. It was rough.
Fuck, man. That's terrible. Well, I mean, at least you got to see him on his last day, and
Yeah.
hopefully you guys got to, talk
Oh,
and
I
stuff.
didn't. We didn't see each other for not a day for like 11 years. Like, if we were fighting, it would go like 2 days, maybe, and we're just like crying, hugging each other. That was like my best fucking friend, dude. It was rough, but yeah, that shit happened. And so Carney's from the Crypt means a lot to me because that's mine and his group.
Cool.
Um,
Is there any
we just
like official place to like hear a song from that era, or is it like just
YouTube
Illtrix?
would probably be like the best place.
Okay.
You can YouTube Carney's from the Crypt, and we have a couple things that we dropped. I think like maybe 4 singles or something like that. We were like in the middle of working on an album because it was kind of just something we were doing on the side of Illtrix, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, everybody was like stepping on each other's toes and nothing was able to get done. And me and him were like 2 of the ones who were like constantly writing and having shit done. So we had like albums of music done if it was just me and him. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't be released because we're waiting for verses from all these people. So we were like, fuck that shit. Let's just start putting together our own album. And that's where a lot of the verses, like when we still do Illtrix albums, we constantly release like 1 or 2 songs with him on them.
Oh,
And that's
cool.
where I get a lot of those verses from was like our shit, or like old Illtrix shit we worked on. But yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen his name on a few of like releases of yours, or just like seen his name around. So it's good to
yeah,
have a little backstory on him and a little bit on Illtrix. So
yeah. And that's the thing, it's kind of like a mystery, but I try to spread the story as much as possible so people know what's going on, because that's why we do it is in honor of him, so he can constantly be on the shit with us still. Like we're constantly bringing out his name and like
that's awesome.
cementing his legacy, just like we're doing for EJ now,
Yeah,
So
for sure. And that was very recent too. It's
yeah,
very like surprising to see that you're like having to like just keep go on with business and stuff. Like I know that was probably a huge hit for you.
Well, it's fucked too, because like right now I'm trying to finish the album, so I have to, go through all of his stems and all of the verses and everything and get it done.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna let everything we work. So like when this shit happened, like I don't know, man, it was rough. Like it kind of fucked all of us up. And me and ODP specifically have been through a lot of death. And him recently, like he just lost his grandfather, which is like his father, and like one of his other best friends. So like he's been through a lot recently. So it was like kind of fucked up. We were all in like a really weird position. Like nobody knew what to do, especially since a lot of the music that we made with EJ was about like trapping, doing drugs, overdosing, or like all types of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And so we were kind of like stuck in this conundrum. And then I was like, so well, what do you think EJ would want to be known for? Being the force that drove us into what we wanted to do, or the force that stopped us?
Yeah. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah. And then everybody was just like, yeah, we got to fucking do this shit for him. So
yeah. He was working really hard, towards the end of his days,
Dude, you have no fucking stuff. Me and him, like, him and ODP had like 2 albums in the works after they just dropped Dichromos. Me and him were about to drop Four Horns. We've had Four Horns .2 going. Plus, we had Book of the Deads with Cerberus Clique. We had a whole fucking alternative album that me and him were working on that was like old sampled songs. So like Misery, like the song that everybody loves where I sampled the Deftones track.
Mm-hmm.
We had a bunch of beats that were like that me and him bought that were like heavily sampled. But after Misery got pulled down off of distribution, we were just going to put them on all on a CD and only put that out through hard copy.
Oh, cool.
So, dude, and we have so many beats that are so dope, like old new metal sampled, like Lonely Day from System of a Down, and like Heart Shaped Box from Nirvana, and
that's cool,
like
man.
really fucking dope ones. RX Clean from Deftones, like hella dope shit. So like, plus they had New Salem albums. He was working on his own shit. He was working on shit with Maniac. Like it was insane, bro. How much music?
Yeah.
So there's definitely still gonna be shit rolling out.
Every week there was like a new single popping up on Spotify from him, like towards the end of his days. So he was a hard worker. I could tell. I didn't really get to listen to him that much before he passed. So now it's like time for me to like catch up on that.
Yeah. And what's cool is there's still going to be a lot of shit coming out. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like like a lot of people have found EJ after he passed, unfortunately, but it's like, they're not just going to be, you know what I mean? Like stuck with whatever he put out. Like you're going to constantly be able to get new material from him for as long as we can. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
It's awesome. So what was the underground horrorcore scene like when you were growing up? Was it just Carnies from the Crypt, like this only group, or were there more groups like Illtrix and stuff?
In my town, there was like not anybody really like us. Like in my town, people were not fucking with us at all, bro. Like we would go on stage and we were all like young, like I had spider legs in and we would look all crazy, and like we would walk into clubs that were like full of like old bloods or like like real serious hip hop fans, and they were not fucking with us most of the time. Like I would walk in and start talking about murdering people and shooting shit, and everybody's just like, hey, what the fuck? Like I remember one time we fucking did this show, bro, and Spice One and Turf Talk randomly walked in and just went to the back of the bar, and they were like watching us perform or whatever. And Turf Talk pulled me aside afterwards and was like, hey, bro, that shit's dope, but just rap about what you be about and this, and that. And it's like, it really like was very insightful to me as to why a lot of these motherfuckers like did not like our music. And it's like, I'm not writing this music to try to appeal to you as real. I'm not writing this music to have you look at me and be like, hey, he on some real shit. Like I'm talking about killing people and fucking exercising demons and crazy
Yeah,
shit.
it's
Like
fantasy.
literally, bro. Like I watch horror movies and I love, like, you know what I mean. So it's
Yeah.
like that's the type of art I like to make, is like dark art. So I don't know. I have a lot of songs now that are a lot more about real shit. And I think I've kind of mixed that with my style, because I'm never going to let somebody like talk me into doing what I don't want to do. I don't give a fuck. I think that's why I've gotten to where I'm at, is because I'll never let somebody tell me how to record, how to make my music, how to sound, how to talk, how to act. Like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
Or how to
and
look. You got your own look too.
yeah, and that's the thing, like with EJ, like, I don't think my music's going to get better. I feel like it's just gonna, not in terms of like how good it is, or you know what I mean, but in terms of like what I'm talking about, I feel like that's just gonna keep going downhill, because I don't know, like I live this shit, bro. Like I have friends who die constantly from this. I like I grew up having to trap to make, like, survive. Like I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Like I talk about this shit because people hit me up at the end of the day and be like, bro, like, knowing that you've gone through what I've gone through and you're at where you're at is keeping me going. Like,
Hell
so
yeah.
I don't give a fuck what anybody else has to say about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I really was like contemplating that for a long time, if I should like change my stance on what I talk about, and fuck that. You know, I don't think EJ would want that either. Like, it's not like I glorify drugs. I don't tell people to do drugs. I don't do anything like that. Like,
yeah.
I talk about what I've been through and like dark sides of drugs. Like, Four Horns has a lot of songs on it that are like really dark and heartfelt, and like me and EJ have lived like a lot of fucked up shit. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. You can tell that there's like, it's kind of like grim stories, you know what I mean? It's not like it's supposed to be like flaunting your fucking drugs and money and shit. It's like,
it's
you
like,
know,
what this is what can happen when you fuck with this shit. Like,
yeah. Or like kind of like you're living like just on the edge of death pretty much, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like
And
I think a
and
lot
the
of people
thing
can
is
relate.
a lot of times when people don't have things to live for, that's fine. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like, a lot of people don't understand that that's where a lot of people choose to live.
Yeah,
Like, is teetering in between life and death.
for
And
sure.
I've lived there for many years of my life, bro. And it's not,
Yeah.
and knowing that there's somebody who is like me. I tell my fans constantly, like, if you're dealing with anything, hit me up. Like, I have so many fans who I've just had like hour-long conversations with, just like talking to them about whatever, bro. Because
Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I would much rather hear someone out than hear about like some fucked up shit. Like, I've lost way too many people in my life, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's sad because we've lost so many talented people like in the horrorcore scene in general. And that's a big, like, that encompasses a lot. The trap scene that you're part of, that the old school like juggalo scene, or if you're talking about, you know, KYP, I've had a lot of those guys on the show and they've had a lot of death. It's insane. It's like almost like, I don't know. I think this is just a really relatable genre for people that are kind of living on the edge and trying to pull themselves up.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of survival, like a lot of success stories too, like you.
yeah. And that's the thing, is I couldn't make music other than the music I make. I wouldn't feel it. I couldn't put my emotions into it. Like, I don't know. When people send me songs about like bitches or things like that, I'm like, all right, whatever. But when I can sit down and like put my emotions into a song and like just like get emotions out, or talk about things that I've never been able to talk about, you know what I mean? Like, um that shit is like therapeutic for me, you know? So that type of music it means the world to me. Like, being able to do that and people feeling it is crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Um. So I was gonna also ask, like, what kind of other styles of music were you into? Because you and I were talking a little bit, and you're not just like into hip hop and like new metal. Like, you like a lot of like old school, like death rock and
Yeah.
like extreme metal and shit like that. Like,
Well, I even like really like I listen to like James Brown and Prince and the Commodores, and
Everybody should though.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I agree with you. And I like I don't really listen to country, but I like a lot of old country or artists like like Willie Nelson.
Sure.
Um,
Back when it was kind of more like edgy, or not edgy. I don't know what you say. Like they were more outlaw style. Like it's very
yeah, outlaw style music, but they would like fuck with like they would cross over with blues and soul because they understood that their music had like heavy roots in there.
yeah. But
Like Willie's song with Ray Charles is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
sure, yeah.
So
Johnny
yeah, I don't
Cash
know,
always
man.
did a lot of collaborations and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, but I'm really all over the fucking place, dude. I grew up listening to a lot of punk, a lot of metal, a lot of new metal, a lot of all over the fucking place, bro. Like,
Yeah. Did you ever play in a band or anything like that?
no, I played guitar for a long time when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
that shit is not like riding a bike, bro. I could not pick that up and do it today. I could.
So a lot of people refer to, or I think even you refer to your music as trap metal, like sometimes. But is
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of trap metal like doesn't have guitars or anything like that. What would like define it as trap metal, like if it doesn't have guitars and stuff?
So I would probably say like my trap metal, I do a lot of like live guitars and live drums, and
Oh, nice.
I switch to like heavy distorted bass and things like that. But
Yeah, the bass I can definitely hear, and like the bass lines are very like metal, like kind of like bar chords, sort of.
yeah, but there's a lot of trap metal nowadays that people consider trap metal. That's the beat has nothing to do with it. It's just the way they scream, or
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
there's a lot of screamers that are like doing gutturals or like fry screams or whatever the fuck,
yeah. I'm
like
hearing a
over
lot of
like
that, and there's some cool
yeah.
ones. Like Babel the Demon was on the show, a
Okay.
lot earlier, and she definitely screams out her voice sometimes.
Yeah,
So
but well, like Sinister, I have him on my track,
yeah,
Crucified,
yeah.
Crucified, and he's a perfect example of that. Like he does that very well.
Sounds like he's in a
Yeah.
hardcore band or something for sure.
He has shit. I'm pretty sure that he does just as Scott Gonzalez. That's like straight up metal,
That's
like
cool.
full live band screaming metal.
Yeah, I'm really new to trap music in general, like, and I don't even like a lot of it. But when it comes to like music, like where it's crossing over into horrorcore, or like
Yeah.
I think I first heard you on Hellbound Disciples, the Black Butterflies song,
Okay.
um,
Fuck yeah.
and like that was like kind of my introduction to you. And I was like, shit, I gotta check this dude out. He's got two different voices and shit. So I
Yeah.
went over to and then also Chuckles, who was another guest on the show.
Yeah.
You
That's my
did
boy.
run Rabbit Run or whatever it's called, and like
Yeah.
that song goes hard as hell.
Yeah. He sent me that shit. I was like, I'm down with this. Yeah, man. I don't know. I totally just fucking spaced the question. I
Oh
apologize.
no, I was just kind of explaining like how I'm kind of new to trap because I didn't fuck with it for a while because until it started crossing over into horrorcore. So
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
that's what I was gonna say is I really try to, I try to like pave my own way. I don't like that's the thing. I never want to be able to like I don't feel like I can fit into one style. Like there's definitely songs that I do that are trap metal, but then I do things like Runaway and Cemetery Roads and it's like
hmm.
completely different, or like things like Bleed and things like that that are completely different,
Oh,
or
your album's like all over like when it comes to
yeah.
styles.
Yeah, so I like to be an artist. Like I don't feel like somebody could be like, "Oh, that guy." Like you could listen to different songs and be like, "Oh, well, this song kind of sounds like this, maybe." But you can't just listen to all my music and be like, "Well, this guy sounds like this." Like I feel like I sound like
Hmm.
me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm trying to mix music I grew up on with like shit I listen to now and like a lot of shit that's influenced me, and just kind of try to pave my own way, dude. Because I'm not trying to be one of those people where somebody can look back and be like, "Oh, he's one of these rappers that popped up at that time," because that's not at all what the fuck I want to be, and I don't feel like that's how you like create longevity. You know what I mean?
I thought it was actually like a really bold choice when I first heard Runaway a couple months ago when you released it. And
Yeah,
I was like, damn, he's like writing this goth, like real goth music vibe. Like we were talking earlier, like Sisters of Mercy, Typo
yep,
Negative, the deep voice, the driving
yeah,
bass lines. And then you came back at it with Cemetery Roads featuring Fams.
yeah,
And that was just like, man, he's like, a lot of trap rappers I don't think would take those risks. You know what I mean? Crossing it over into a completely different genre. So I think that was like super admirable to see that.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I said, I try to create music to capture the feeling I get when I listen to music that I like that nostalgic, dark feeling that I like when I listen to music. You know, because like I said, my music can be all over the place, but a lot of the times I generally try to go for like a vibe. You know, so yeah, that's definitely like you said, like Typo Negative, Sisters of Mercy, like a lot of the things that I grew up listening to, like I said, I'm trying to incorporate them into what I want to do. And that's the type of vibe I'm going for, like dark, nostalgic, like, you know, really kind of old synth wavy goth shit. You know what I mean? Like,
you're also like doing music fans a huge favor because you're like bridging that gap between the younger audience of listening to trap and like the older audience like me that grew up on like extreme metal and like a lot of like you know, the rough stuff, you know what I mean? And like it might end up getting kids into that stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I love. Like you can come to some of my shows, bro, and there will be like old metalheads that are like in their 40s and 50s that are just huge fans of mine, and then there will be kids that are like in their teens, you know what I mean, that are like super into my shit, and they're all moshing together and shit. Like it's sick, dude. You know what I mean?
It's exactly what we need. Like totally need to bring that new audience and like show them the old ways, but then like also keep the old guys in tune with what's going on because you know I feel a little out of it sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Because then the old dudes will teach you that respect. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
There's a thing like people get fucked up at hardcore shows, but like if somebody really gets fucked up, like the show will stop. You know what I mean? Like
pick them up, get them some air, and then continue to beat their ass.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't understand that it's a respect thing. It's a mutual ass beating for everyone. You know what I mean? Like you walk into that pit and you know what the fuck you're walking in there for.
Yeah,
so.
You know where to stand if you don't want to get hit, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I've seen so many people fight over that shit, and it's like, especially with me, because my crowds are so mixed, it's like you'll have like the old hip hop head who's like, most he'll do if he really fucks with you is stand in the corner and do this. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the absolute most you are gonna get out of a motherfucker. And so it's like when you have people like that, and then you have older dudes who are screaming at the top of their lungs and bumping into people and trying to grab you and pull you into the pit and shit, like
stage dive.
Those two people don't mix a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
No, I mean that's what happened when I tried to get wild at a Brother Lynch show. And at a club, and I was like the only like metalhead, I guess you could say, or like horrorcore kid there, because everyone else was just the regular club dwellers from my town.
Yeah,
I almost got thrown out, and I almost missed the whole set. It would have been sucked.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing that fucking bugs me. Like, if you stand on the edge, bro, like don't fucking, you know what I'm saying?
I'm like, dude, the dude's rapping about eating babies. How are we not gonna mosh? Like,
right. Like, you're not going to push each other. He literally just said he's going to eat a dick, bro. Come on.
Damn.
Like, that shit's fucking crazy. Yeah. I don't understand why people, like, especially me. I feel like I've made a name for myself now to where, especially in my town, people understand how my shows are going to be. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah. Do you ever think you'll bring any, like, stage theatrics, like Guar or anything like that?
Yeah, I definitely want to get into, like, a lot of like stage props and stuff. Visuals and things like that. But I don't know. That's definitely something that comes along with a lot more touring.
Yeah.
And we just got back off of our first headlining tour, which was super sick, and we're trying to plan another one for here soon. But
and that was like a Cerberus Clique tour?
Huh?
Was that a Cerberus Clique tour?
No, it was Into the Hellfire tour. It was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was Illtrix, Salem Alumni, O Dreamer, The Unforgiven, and Itsu.
Yeah, that looked like an awesome show. You guys played a little too north for me. I think it was like at like Orcas Island or something. Where did you play?
Yeah. We were at
like around Seattle. It wasn't Seattle though. It was
No, we played in Seattle too.
Oh yeah.
We did. what did we do? We did Oak Harbor
Oh,
was the
Carver.
first
That's what I
date.
was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Oak Harbor was the first date. Then we did Seattle at the Fun House, and then we did Oregon, and then we were coming down through Reno, and we still had New Mexico and Colorado, and then a bunch of us fucking caught COVID.
Ah, that sucks.
So we had to postpone the last two dates or whatever. But yeah, we pretty much wrote out the whole tour, and it was super dope.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
some vlogs like from Concrete or whatever. It was looked pretty
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Dude, we were having a fucking good time. Like, especially like, I don't know, Ryan and EJ and Boogie and Carl, the one who was driving and running merch for us, and Maniac, like all those people are like my fucking best friends. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was
Unforgiven's hilarious too, those dudes.
yeah, and
They
they're
crack
super
me up.
dope. I
Yeah.
had fun on the road with them and O Dreamer, and
Yeah,
that was
O
super dope.
Dreamer's really. I actually don't know O Dreamer like I know Unforgiven, but his music's awesome. That's like some
Yeah.
out of the box shit. Do you think you'll ever work with him?
Yeah, me and him actually have a track in the works right now.
Dude, that would be
He's my
sick.
boy, dude. Like they all came out here and stayed at my house and shit when we were out in Reno and stuff. So
Yeah, I want to have
yeah,
O
no,
Dreamer on the show. This isn't just a rap show. That's why I added extreme music show at the end, horrorcore,
Yeah.
because I want to have like people like O Dreamer, or like if I can find like a band that plays like Cradle of Filth style music or something. Like I want that on here. But like,
well, the cool thing about O Dreamer too is he has some tracks that are like really heavily kind of hip hop. But yeah,
Mhm.
dude, he's mad different. I
yeah,
really fuck with him. He's super dope. But yeah, and that's the thing is, but I was just meeting them for like the first time. You know what I mean? That was like the first time I ever met them in person. Like we had spoken. I'd done a lot of business with Kevin from the Unforgiven, so like we were cool. Me and him were back before setting up the whole tour. We were very cordial, scissoring, I guess. But we never like met face to face. But like EJ and all them, they were like those were all like my best fucking friends. So like being all on the road with all of them, bro, was fucking like so funny because we all have like the same weird over the top like kind of like humor, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
especially me and Ryan. I don't know if you've ever watched the Cochino show, but me and him are just like retarded with it.
No, I'll have to
So,
check it out.
Yeah, it's mine and his podcast, and we literally just like fucking talk about buttholes and all types of crazy shit.
I
the
think
whole
I
time.
did listen to that once actually. Like when I was doing my research on you, I'm like, what the hell,
Yeah.
man? These guys are big.
Yeah, so that's Ryan. That's it's Sue. So me and him fucking we were going off, and then me and EJ we have like the same type of humor. So, and then we got to stop in California and see ODP. So, yeah, that tour was fucking sick. And I'm now that EJ is passed, I'm really glad that I got to do that with him. You know.
Oh yeah, good memories and shit. Is there going to be any like tour documentary? Do you think?
Yeah, we filmed a whole bunch of shit. I don't know if it'll ever get put into a documentary though. It was like on a bunch of people's phones and shit, but
That's the thing.
but we
Like I
did
miss
film
the
a whole
old.
bunch of shit when we went to Gorefest, so you should be seeing something from that whole trip.
I miss the old like documentaries that bands used to do. You know, when they've released it on a VHS tape or DVD, and you'd have like an hour and a half of content, like behind the scenes, live shows, interviews.
Yep.
Like I wish more people did that. Maybe at Horror Corridor needs to start like a documentary.
Well, it's funny that you
series.
say that because that's like basically what we're working on, right? Like we're doing some shit kind of like that from when we went out to we did Gorefest and we shot Die Slow out there and we did like a whole bunch of shit. So it's like a whole bunch of behind the scenes from all that.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'd love to see that. Sweet. So, who else have you been like? What's on the horizon? I guess. I mean, it's kind of weird to talk about the future because like this album is still like alive and kicking, and like I feel like it hasn't even reached its like main audience. Like it's got a lot of people still to listen to.
Yeah.
But are you moving on forward from this yet, or are you gonna try
Yeah.
to? Yeah, you're still going.
I'm never stopping. Yeah, no. I just dropped a single with Stray like 2-3 days after the album dropped, In the Dark, and then I'm dropping Glock 17 on the 17th of this month. And then early December, me and ODP are gonna release the first half of our dual album on distro, the Death Cult,
Hell
and
yeah.
that's gonna be. We're doing a dual album, and when the second one comes out, we're gonna do like the pre-orders and the hard copies and everything like we do for all of our albums. But when the first half of it comes out, we're just gonna put that out for distro so everyone can have it, listen to it. But then when you order the hard copy for the second half of the project, you'll get the CD with dual disc with both sides of the project on it, all that shit. You know what I mean? So we have Death Cult and Death Gods, which is mine and ODP's dual projects that are coming out.
And that's Odd Profit, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep calling him ODP because I'm so fucking stuck in it. But yeah, Odd Profit.
Yeah.
If I ever say ODP, know that's who I'm talking about.
I just clearing it up for the listeners. I'm sure most people watching this know that.
Because I get caught up in fucking doing that, and even he's like, "That's not my name anymore." But so yeah, so that's mine and his dual project that's coming out. Four Horns is coming out at the end of November. The beginning of December will be the Death Cult, like I said, and then the end of December will be the first half of Book of the Dead, because Book of the Dead is going to be like a split project too. We're going to have book 1 and book 2. And so December we'll have 2 drops. I believe January we're going to, either January or February, we're going to be dropping the second half of Death Cult, so Death Gods, and then the whole fucking project will be coming out. And then probably in between there in a bunch of places, I'm going to start releasing singles for my next solo album, The King in Yellow, which is going to be coming out next year. So I'm going to start releasing singles for that. And then me and Maniac are working on a new Illtrix album.
Damn, bro.
Called Tombstones and Funeral Homes. And that's going to be coming out next year also. So we'll probably be releasing singles for that as well. And then we've all been doing a bunch of like singles, like all over the fucking place. So yeah, it's never gonna stop, bro. Like we're trying to drop at least a solid couple projects every month, at least.
So how many songs on the self-titled were previous singles, and how many were newly recorded for the album and not released as a single first?
5 were singles, because with an 18-track album, I like to release like 4 to 6 singles.
Cool. That's a good way to do it. I like that.
Yeah, because yeah, you know, so everyone gets hyped for the album and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe 5 or 6 of them were singles.
So these are all like everything else is original recordings just for this album. That's crazy. All the features.
The singles were original just for this album. They were just kind of put out early as like teasers.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So it was already in the works, the self-titled album. How long was that process?
So I started working on this one late last year, like probably around the same time, like October or something like that. But at that time I don't know, I just didn't have like I like the person who mastered Belial kind of left. So I was like in the middle of like finding new engineers, and I just started working with Keith as a new producer because I used to produce all my own shit. So like I was in the process of figuring all that out and like getting money for everything and getting everything together. And then, but yeah, recently I've been just like, I don't know, I'm in the groove. I've been dropping shit like fucking crazy.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And the features you have on this album, it's like pretty good range because you got your regulars like Odd Profit. Let's see here. I mean, Itsu is on here, but then you got fucking Gruesome, a Gruesome twosome duet.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Gruesome's my boy. I keep kicking my fucking shit. Gruesome's my boy. He's a really good dude. He hit me up randomly one day, and he was like, "Hey, I hella fuck with your shit. I'm just gonna start telling people we're cousins," and that shit hella made me laugh. So I hit him back, and I was like, "Yo, what's good? Like, let's do a track." So I sent him that one to be on, and I met him at Gorefest, and me and him chopped it up a lot more. Me and him are gonna be working on like a full project as soon as we can pull ourselves away from our busy lives. But Yeah, that's my dude. I really like working on music with people that we just genuinely like link up out of nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And then you got two of the LSP. You got a song with Cody Manson, Donnie
yeah.
Menace. Those are back to back. Also,
So Cody
yeah, go ahead.
Cody's a really good dude. Uh, I've known him for a short while, but I fuck with Cody. He's always done good to me. But Donnie is like my boy. Like I talk to Donnie at least once a week. Like we constantly check in on each other and shit. Like that's my guy. So
He's a
yeah.
lyrical genius too.
Oh, dude,
His
he
punchlines are so
murdered it.
smart.
So back in the day, one of the reasons we really linked up and started talking is because my brother that passed away was like a huge fan of his, and his CD fucking was the CD that was in his car when my brother passed away or
Oh
whatever.
damn,
Like that shit never left his CD deck. So yeah, Donnie hit me up and started talking to me and shit and all that. Me and him just kind of linked. We're just like minded people, you know what I mean?
that's awesome. Yeah, he was like one of the first guests to say he'd do the show, and I think we were waiting till after Chainsaws and Boomsticks, so it should be
Yeah,
someday in the future, I'd say. But like,
yeah,
I got a lot to ask that dude because like the amount of lyrical content that he packs into one song, like there's so much to unwrap, on his lines. So
dude, yeah. His metaphor game is off the charts for sure, dude.
yeah,
Yeah, I
but
love that. Donnie's crazy with his wordplay. Even the shit he said on that song me and him did is like fucking insane.
yeah,
He
yeah. I
killed it.
was I was like, damn, dude, you got a good verse on this.
I want to go down there and shoot a goofy ass video with him and have me and him just. I'll be John Travolta and he'll be Samuel L. Jackson, and we'll just fucking buy shitty Pulp Fiction costumes and just fucking. You know what I'm saying? Just do stupid shit. Like I think that would be funny as fuck.
It would be even funnier if you were Beatrix Kiddo with the fucking wig and the and the blouse with the
Right?
mask
Just
on,
me in the back with my mask on and one of the shots that'd be fire as fuck. Just railing some coke or something.
then foaming out of your mask. Like,
That's hard, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. And
So
that's
I want to do it like that for that video. I think that'd be funny. I just got to plan a trip out there to Vegas.
so yeah, that's like your second Tarantino reference. You got a Pulp Fiction and a Uma Thurman,
Yeah.
which had the Kill Bill art. So you a big Tarantino fan?
Yeah. I really love those movies specifically, but yeah, I'm a huge Tarantino fan. Even his acting, like Dust Till Dawn, he's kind of corny, but I love that movie.
I
Like,
love him in that movie. He's perfect for
yeah,
that character.
that's what I'm saying. So many people talk shit on his acting in that movie, and I'm like, I love that movie. Fuck you guys. You know what I'm saying?
That's because MTV gave him like a Raspberry Award for like the worst acting that year, and like
Yeah.
I think that just caught on like wildfire because I think the acting works for a schizophrenic rapist. I
Well,
think like
I'm pretty sure you got like Me Too, which
yeah,
is fucked up. But Salma Hayek said that he was mad rapey
yeah. I
and
know
like a
he's
bunch.
a little pervy, but yeah, I don't know. I'll have to.
Well, Salma Hayek was like, she was a teenager when she was in From Dusk Till Dawn, and he like forcefully wrote in that like foot sucking scene.
Oh,
She was like really like uncomfortable with it, but didn't want to say anything because like she didn't want to lose her opportunity or whatever.
yeah,
So just things like that. So that like created a lot of controversy around him or whatever. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I grew up on like a lot of. I even like his shitty movies like that. People are like critically acclaimed as bad. Like Charistas is fire, dude.
Yeah, my favorite from him was that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought that was like a perfect movie. Did you
That
see
movie's really good. Yeah, it's long as shit, but it's so good.
I just it never gets old to me. I don't know why. Like it's so funny and it's like so
Yeah.
fucked up. I mean, it's not fucked up. It's like heartwarming a little bit because it's like the alternate. I don't want to get into spoilers, but
Well,
all
it's
the,
like it's breaking the fourth wall. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like it's really showing you how all those people. Like I could see Bruce Lee 110% being like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Supposedly he
that
was
just
very
makes
cocky.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I fuck with that movie. Like I've always liked everything he's always done. You know.
What about horror movies? Were you ever a big horror movie fan?
Yeah, I love horror movies. I was peeping your whole wall before we started. But yeah, no, I'm a huge horror movie fan. I I like a lot of fucking like I have a lot of horror movies tattooed on me. I got like Michael Myers and Leatherface.
Oh,
I
those
got
are good.
Nosferatu. I got Terrifier on my back.
Word. You like that new
But
Terrifier?
yeah, dude, I fucking haven't been able to watch the second one yet.
You got to
And
see it in theaters if you can, man.
I know that's what I'm trying to do, but like out here is rough. I couldn't find anywhere even like screening it.
Yeah, it was a limited release, but like, I don't know. I mean, I used to be on an extreme horror like show, and
Yeah.
I can vouch that that movie is gorier than almost any of the extreme horror films that I've seen.
Oh fuck, I know it's gonna be, dude. I love that movie. Like
Yeah,
ever since I watched the first one, I was like, this is hands down my new favorite movie because I'm a huge fan, like as you can tell, of like just hack 'em up big killers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge fan of like Jason and but like
have you
but
seen the
I
Hatchet
like,
movies?
yeah, the Hatchet movies are sick. But I don't know, I like off-brand ones too, like like Candyman and Leprechaun and a lot of things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I've always been really drawn to that, like just one person fucking wrecking ball. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, when I saw that movie, and I fucking hate jump scare movies, like Insidious. Like I love those movies, but I feel like they would be so much better if they showed shit. Like I'm sick of hearing a motherfucker scream when the camera jerks away and you have to imagine it. Like
also, my biggest problem with those paranormal movies is they CGI all the makeup. So you see,
Yeah.
like, you can tell that the face isn't like, that's not
it's
real
not
makeup.
right. Yeah.
I don't like ghosts that are all like CGI-ified. If they're like
No.
little transparency, like in Ghostbusters, it's fine. But like,
Yeah.
I hate that.
And as you can tell, I'm a huge fan of special effects, and I know it can be done with special effects. And I feel like a lot of the times I'm just selling people short. So that's why I love Terrifier. Is like they don't leave anything up to imagination. Like if he's clawing a motherfucker's head into a pumpkin, you're gonna watch him do that. Like
Yeah,
I love that shit. Like so, as soon as I saw that movie, like all of my pet peeves, all of my things that I grew up on that I cling to, like it just had everything. I was like, yo, fuck. I love this movie, dude.
that's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
but yeah, no, I'm a huge. Did you watch the new Hellraiser?
Yeah, I did enjoy it actually. I thought
I
it
was a fan. Yeah,
yeah. It's like I think I've noticed a lot of the people I see online hating, and it's like it seems like you like horror, but you haven't liked it for that long. You know what I
and
mean?
that's the thing. It's like I feel like a lot of these people just want to have an opinion because if you actually watch the old Hellraiser movies, they're like 95% ass. Like there's bits of greatness in there, and they're great when they are great, but
Yeah,
that's not most of these movies.
yeah.
So
They
for you
get
to
worse
sit
and
here-
worse.
So for you to sit here and try to fucking say anything about cheesiness or acting or anything, you just obviously haven't watched this franchise. So it's just crazy to me that you would sit here and have an opinion on this movie. So, but I fucking really liked it. I didn't know if I wanted to fight or fuck him the whole time. You know?
Yeah, for sure, man.
But it was a good ass movie. I really like how they fucking extended the whole puzzle box and how it like went through different fucking mutations and shit. That shit was sick.
Yeah, there was way more depth of that movie than there has been in any Hellraiser movie, probably since the first one.
That's what I'm saying. That explained the story more than probably any other one ever.
Yeah,
And then even expanded upon it.
It reminded me the most of the book, I think, of anything that Hellbound Heart book, of anything I've seen from that universe too. So that was kind of cool too. So I hopefully they go in that direction. I think it got pretty popular. So
They've been killing it with the remakes, I feel like, lately.
there's been some good ones, and that's hard for me to say sometimes. There was a lot of bad ones for a while.
Well, that's the thing. I think they fucked up doing remakes, and I think they're extensions now, where they're actually taking time to go and research the old story and like put effort into it. Like the new Leatherface was great.
Yeah,
You know,
I loved
the
it.
only thing that pissed me off was the end, but it pissed me off because it was like old cheesy horror shit. That's the only reason it kind of pissed me off.
I just didn't like the Sally stuff. I didn't think they needed to bring her.
That
in.
was annoying as fuck too.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you do her like that? Like,
Yeah.
you just made her look like a jealous girlfriend.
Yeah, it's like I heard someone say that they were like it was almost a satirical, like making fun of Jamie Lee Curtis in the new Halloween, like being this old woman that's coming back to save the day, but like we're trying to just make it satirical. I'm like, yeah, you totally missed the mark with that one.
Well, I don't know why they keep doing that to people. Like, same thing they did in Scream. I don't want to ruin it for people, but I feel like that death was bad, unnecessary.
That newest Scream was a rough watch. I thought I did not
Dude,
like that.
I feel like that death was mad unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
That was a bad movie. It was boring as shit too. I couldn't remember a single moment. In fact, the scene you're mentioning is just coming to me now, but like I think I blacked a lot of that out.
And it's memorable because you're like, yo, what the fuck was that for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, shit like that bugs the fuck out of me. Like the end of Leatherface really pissed me off. How they just kind of, I would have sawed that motherfucker in half. Like, you got me so fucking tiny, tap his nose and call it quits. You're tripping, dude. You're tripping. That's one thing that bugs the fuck out of me in horror movies, when people fucking, like, you have a gun in your hand and then you just look at it and you're like, I don't, and you just throw it and keep going. Like, why would you do that, bro? Like, I hate shit like that. You
or
know
when they don't
saying?
pick up the weapons of the people that have fallen, you know, like
like shit that no person would ever do.
I'm like, that dude had a sword. Go back.
Like you have a full clip in the gun. This guy has been trying to murder you for the past 6 hours, killed 5 of your best friends. You shot him one time in the shoulder, and you're like, all right, we out of here. I'm going to stand over his head and be like, bop, 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 bop. Like, you got me so fucked up, bro. I'm making sure his head's gone, bro.
I'm curb stomping him. I always say that. I'm like, whenever the guy's dead on the ground like that, I'm always like, curb stomp him. Like, I'm just like,
dude, I'm like, what are you doing? Shoot that motherfucker. And then they turn around and stop talking or like start talking about something like, oh, I love you. I can't believe we made it. I'm like, well, he's right behind you, about to murder you, obviously, you fucking idiot. Like, that shit bugs me. But, like, I don't know. It's classic.
It's better than a fucking 20-year-old beating up Michael Myers in a sewer, though.
Oh my god, bro.
Halloween Ends was.
They fucking did that whole franchise dirty. Like, I was mad because the first one, I was like, this is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is gonna be dope. Like, that opening scene when they walked out onto the yard and he was like paying them no fucking mind, and then they pulled out his mask and like the birds flew up and everybody's tripping. I was like, yo, this movie's gonna be fucking sick. And then it's just like, how are you gonna start like that and then just go like?
Yeah, Halloween Kills I was kind of warm on. Like, it had its moments. It was too long and it had some unnecessary shit in there. But it was really just getting us ready for the amount of unnecessary shit in the fucking third one.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the ending was so good. And then towards the end of that movie, I was like, yo, fuck this movie. And then, like, I don't know, dude. Like, everyone after that was just so much worse. Like, and then this one was just worse, like, bad the whole time. It was just bad the whole time.
Yeah.
Not once was I like, hey, this part's kind of dope. Not one time.
I see the randomest. I don't mean the weirdest people. The most random people, though, that are like, actually liked it. I'm like, okay. Dude, I'm glad that some people enjoyed it because I didn't get anything out of it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I don't know. Like, some people could, like, if you grow up on something and you have like really heavy ties to it, and then somebody who's just watching this movie for face value, they're just like, oh, well, I guess that movie was pretty good.
Yeah.
But when you have so much expectations for that movie and then they just murder it, and you're just like, bro, fuck this movie, dude. Like,
yeah,
people don't understand. That's why people get so mad about stupid shit, like the mermaid, like the Little Mermaid being black. Like, why does that upset you? I don't get it.
I don't know, man. That would not. I watched Little Mermaid all the time when I was a kid. That doesn't bother me whatsoever.
It's like, dude, there's a fucking mermaid in the book who's green. Did that piss you off? No. So shut the fuck up. They're fish. Like, it makes me so mad, dude.
Yeah,
like,
seriously,
it's annoying.
You know,
like, let people. Like, the thing is they're not making these fucking movies for you. They're not making these movies for you old ass fucking adults.
Yeah.
That are trying to relive your childhood through going and seeing this movie. Like, suck a dick. They're trying to make this movie so it lives on through another generation of kids. You know?
Not people that are going to die in 20 years.
Yeah, like, they don't give a fuck about how you feel. This movie is going to be like this generation's Little Mermaid, so fuck off, you know?
Yeah, and do you have kids, by the way?
No, I don't.
No? Yeah, because I'm showing my 10-year-old, like, a lot of these, like, the old and the new horror movies, and it's really interesting kind of to see what like the young ones pick up on. Like he actually is he's not down with a lot of those like corny shit. Like he likes the original Child's Play. He likes like the original Friday the 13th, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he'll take
because those are good.
and
Yeah.
like he refuses to watch the Nightmare on Elm Street remake because he's like his face looks like silly putty, you know. And I'm like,
Chucky's one franchise that like really held its value all the way until like recent years.
I kind of like the whole thing, honestly, personally.
I don't know, bro. That whole Cult of Chucky thing can suck my balls, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like it was like made for TV kind of thing, but I think I was just happy to see him again.
Yeah, but I don't know. That didn't strike me as like my Chucky. Like the whole thing was just weird to me. You know what I mean? Like,
But that the remake, I actually liked that one, the one with Audrey Plaza. It was like pretty gory.
Yeah.
That was
it
really,
wasn't bad. Yeah, see that one I didn't mind. You know, but
if
like
it
old,
reminded
the
me of
old
like
Chucky movies and the old Bride of Chucky and Child's Play and like all that shit. Like that was my shit back in the day, bro.
hell yeah. I actually really like the third one too. That one doesn't get talked about that much. Where he goes to like boot camp and like he replaces the paintball guns with real guns.
Yeah, yeah. See, and that's the thing is like I love shit like that.
Yeah.
Like Killjoy is like I love Killjoy.
Those are corny as fuck, though.
Dude, see, I fucking like see. So me and my brother, effect that passed away. Me and him used to, we would go out of our way to like watch like the fucking corniest shit we could find. Bro.
Trauma and Full Moon and stuff like that.
Yeah, Rubber, shit like that. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So
You're the
like,
second guest to bring up Rubber.
dude, it's so fucking bad, bro. So there's a new one called Bad Hair or some shit like that, and it's about like hair killing
Hair
people.
extensions, yeah.
It was actually done very well.
That's actually, John, to be a nerd, it's a remake of a Japanese movie loosely called Extend or something.
Yeah,
It had the
It was
chick
good.
from this movie and Kill Bill in it.
yeah, dude. Are you a Junji Ito fan?
He's the one that did, he's the comic guy.
Yeah, he does like Uzumaki and
Yeah,
stuff.
I loved the movie Uzumaki. I haven't read any of his comics and stuff, but I like the art style a lot.
His art style. So that's the thing is when they did the Uzumaki thing that they put out and like the Junji Ito release that they did, they kind of really fucked like his whole art style up. Like
Like the
everything
live
was
action
really
movie?
just- No, it was a cartoon, like basically an animation remake of his art, but they colored everything,
Oh,
and it looked mad weird and just flat as opposed to
Yeah.
everything.
why? Because that's what's
Yeah.
appealing is like even when you go to Hot Topic now and see that on the wall, that's what makes it stand out. It's kind of like
Exactly,
your
exactly.
art. It's like your art.
Yeah. So that's the thing is like, yeah, it kind of really just fucked with it for a lot of people. But so after that, I think it's Adult Swim or something like that is doing an adaptation of Uzumaki that's supposed to be like as true to his art as it can be. And it's supposed to be like super sick. So I'm excited for that to come out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. There's a lot of cool animation coming out too. I'm glad they brought back Beavis and Butthead and
Yep.
shit like
There's
that.
a new one I've been watching called Little Demon on Hulu that's fire as fuck, bro. It's Danny DeVito and his daughter. And Danny DeVito plays the devil and his daughter plays the Antichrist.
That's awesome. I gotta check
is-
that out.
Bro, it's fucking hilarious, bro. And her mom's like this witch who like fucked Satan and birthed the Antichrist. Like it's so sick.
Yeah, there was one called The Freaky Brothers, I think. Have you heard of that one? It's like a stoner thing, stoner comedy kind of thing. I think it's on Tubi.
Oh shit, I think I did. I think I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's got like the old school like Fritz the Cat style art.
Yeah, and they're like two like scraggly looking stoner guys.
Yeah, it looks like Mad Magazine.
Yeah, I have seen. I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
That's a good one if you want some stoner shit.
Yeah, I might have to check that shit out. They just released a new season of Big Mouth too.
Oh, I actually haven't gotten into that yet.
Oh, dude, Big Mouth's raunchy as fuck. I love that show.
People are definitely talking about it a lot though, so I should probably
I know.
keep my eyes
It's
out for
really good, and then like a bunch of people are offended by it because it's about like a bunch of little kids going through puberty, so it's like fucked up.
Oh, that sounds great though.
It's hilarious, yeah. And it's like anybody who's like offended by it, it's like fuck you. Like that's what kids go through. Like
Yeah,
suck a
you're,
dick.
you're just offended because you're ashamed of it.
Yeah, you're mad because you were the little weirdo jacking off in the closet as a kid. That was you.
Still am.
Now I'm just not ashamed by it. You know?
Hell yeah. So do you listen? Do you listen to any horrorcore or is it
Yeah.
still just rock?
No, I definitely listen to horrorcore. I grew up on a lot of horrorcore. You know what I mean? I listened to a lot of like Brother Lynch and Twisted and ICP and Flatliners and
Oh yeah,
a lot of
the classics.
yeah. I listened to a lot of horrorcore growing up, and then I still do. I just don't really like. I listen to people I fuck with.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm intertwined in the community now, so it's like I don't really go out of my way to find new people because I'm sure you know just as well as me. There's a lot of fucking shitty horrorcore rappers, so I don't go out of my way to like delve into people a lot of the time. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll listen to people that I fuck with, or if my people do a song with somebody, I'll check them out or something like that. So I definitely still listen to horrorcore, but it's more on a my people or kind of like check people out basis.
I feel that, and it's like people you relate to too.
Yeah.
You got the same kind of like vibes and stuff. It makes sense.
Well,
But
yeah, it's just like music I know I'm gonna like. Like I'm not gonna waste my time going to look for this song and listen to it just to support you when this song's fucking dick. Like I don't do that. You know what I mean?
and like you're seems like you're slightly selective too with who you work with because like every feature you've done has been on a pretty well known or like a good horrorcore artist. You know what I mean? Like you've done
Yeah.
stuff with like if you look at all you Chuckles and Hellbound Disciples and stuff like that, it's people that actually know how to make music and aren't like just practicing in their basement.
Well, so I sell my features. So I think that really kind of separates the serious from the not serious. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna come spend as much money as I charge on a feature unless they understand how to do it properly, how to distribute it, what they can gain from it,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So that's really, I think that's where any artist kind of separates themselves from serious and not serious is when you start selling features. Like, because when people start hitting you up and buying things from you and it becomes like a business aspect, that's when that person's serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I don't know. I've seen Tech Nine on some like pretty low budget stuff before, and like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. I'm just saying, like, if you go through your Spotify, all your features are just very clean.
But you've seen that song. you
That's
you
true.
know what I mean?
That's true.
So at the end of the day, that feature worked out for everybody. But yeah, I'm pretty selective about who I work with for the most part. Especially on my discography. Like if you see anybody get put out on my shit, or if I'm like a main artist with somebody on a track, like that song with me and Chuckles, or if it's anything like that, that's when you know that I'm like not to say that I don't fuck with the people who buy features from me, because that is not at all what I'm trying to say. I appreciate everybody 110% who would do that. You know what I mean? And take me that serious. But if you see me put anybody on my discography, a lot of the time it's because like I just genuinely like fucked with that person and started making music with them. Like,
Yeah, it makes
Yeah.
sense. You can't like put everybody on the spotlight, but the fact that they even got you in the first place is probably a huge honor for them. It's probably
Yeah.
a great jump start for whatever they're trying to do.
I don't really like to go out of my way to. I don't buy features from people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't do that. I feel like that's corny.
Yeah.
Like when you go and buy a huge artist and put him on your album and act like you're friends with him and stuff, that shit's weird to me.
It is
like-
a little weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, there's people who buy features and genuinely create a connection, because I've done a lot of features with people who I genuinely fuck with after doing that feature with them. You know what I mean? But
Yo, that track
I'm
you did with
saying-
Spooky Scareflow was great. The Psychopathic Murderers.
yeah, I really dig how that one came out. And Spooky is a fucking genuine ass dude. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like, me and him linked up, and I fuck with him. Like he has bought features for me, but I genuinely fuck with him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the thing is like it's all kind of up in the air. You know what I mean? It's all situational. But what I mean is like people who are going like spend money on a big feature and then center their whole album around that and things like that. Like
Yeah.
it's goofy as fuck to me. Like I
Yeah.
want my album to be popping because of me, not because I had whatever his fucking tits is on it. You know, I want that to be a little sprinkle of flavor on the end. I don't want that to be like the only reason I'm buying this album is because it has this dude's name on it. Like I don't fuck with that shit.
And it doesn't look good when you can actually see the amount of plays too, and it's like that's the only song on the album that anyone listened to.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm so strict about that shit in my music is because that's why my music is the way it is, and that's why I have a genuine following, and that's why you can't go through my songs and do that. Like one of my highest played songs is Planet Hate. There's no features, no nothing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. I think that's a big issue with artists nowadays is too many features on an album. And it's like
yeah,
you want to hear it's like if you want to hear a group, you could like listen to like Cerberus Clique or whatever, but like
yeah.
that's one thing I really like about your album is like you have a lot of solo tracks on here. And then
That's the thing. I feel like you should have at least like half the album where it's just like people should get a feel for you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because there's especially like if it's your first full length, you want people to actually sniff out the artist, like, and someone like you with two different voices, if not more,
Yeah.
like you want it to just say Doc Gruesome. This is what I sound like. So
And you can't just be like self-titled and then you never know which person's me because it's two people on every song. Like no.
it's like everything's a posse cut.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I said, I think features should be like that little extra. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and even then, my features a lot. Like the only people I let take control of a song, I don't really let people do that a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Odd Prophet's the only person who really got to do that on my album, and Stu J. And that's because Odd Prophet never gives me a fucking choice. I send him a beat, and that motherfucker will take up every little bit of space that he possibly can and just save me one verse. But he kills it, so I never have an issue with it.
Yeah, I've just been getting into his music, and it's pretty brilliant, for sure.
He's one of my favorite rappers, like hands down. I love ODP. Like his shit is crazy.
Yeah,
and Stu J too. Stu J is one of the only other people who I let do that. Other than that, it's one person's verse on my song. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't. Yeah, I agree with you completely. I don't vibe with that shit either. I feel like your album should be a feel for you. You know.
So, how much time do you spend on your music compared to all your other hustles?
Music and graphics definitely take up the most of my time, and I try to split them evenly. But lately, it's been fucking rough. I've been falling behind on graphics. Still working on stuff. Still getting shit done for people. Nobody's really stressing. A lot of people understand, especially with like EJ passing and you trying to get all this shit done. So I've had no issues with it, but those two things are definitely what takes up the most of my time. That's what I do.
Do you have
if I'm
any,
not at work, I'm drawing or working on music.
Do you have any like side hobbies other than that, like skateboarding, sports, or anything like that?
I like the disc golf.
Oh, nice. Never tried that before, actually.
It's fun because you can just like, it's like working out. Like you have to hike and shit, but it's like you're playing a game. So it's like there's purpose to it and it's fun. And then you're just out in nature, like smoking weed and fucking playing a game and shit. It's pretty hard. But
I'm sold on it. I'd probably lose the disc though if I got too high.
it happens, son. I got a bag with like 50 of them. It's like you gotta. Sometimes you gotta go track down the good ones, but yeah, it'll happen. Sometimes you won't get that bitch back.
Oh yeah.
Especially out here, there's courses up in Tahoe and shit that's like just thick forestry. You know what I mean? Like you gotta like wing that bitch through a line of trees. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So,
you think you'll ever have your own disc, like Doc Gruesome disc?
Fuck, that'd be hard, dude.
Hell yeah.
I could probably do that right now, to be honest with you.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it.
Because I don't play hella. Like, I'm not going to sit here in front and act like I'm a fucking professional or nothing. But that's one thing that I like to do to kind of just get out and get out of my head. Because I've never been, like, I played sports when I was a kid, but I've never been like, hey, let's go play some basketball or something. Like, that doesn't sound fun to me for the most part. I don't know. So, yeah, that's like my outdoor kind of sportsy thing that I do, you know?
That's awesome. Do you play
Most
video
of the time
games or
I'm just
anything?
at my house. Yeah, I play video games. I try to, but I just, like I said, I'm always working on music or drawing, it seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got a new Xbox and I'm waiting for the new Skate to come out because that's like
Yeah, Skate's good.
that's like what I live for.
Yeah, Skate
I've
3
been
is
waiting my
amazing.
whole life for this fucking game. So
Did you
I'm
try
waiting.
Session or what was that? Skater XL?
Gator XL, yeah, I fucked with it. It was cool. I like how you could independently control like each foot with like each stick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was cool, but the mechanics were fucked.
That was just confusing for me because I'm so used to Skate 3.
That's the thing. You really have to break away from that. But once you can, it's pretty cool. Like once you can just like skate around, but there's nothing to really do. The maps are kind of small, and the dynamics are fucked. Like it's all real floaty, and they definitely have to work on their mechanics. But I fucked with it. I liked it. Definitely not as much as Skate, but I played it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I fuck with Skate. I've been playing like Dying Light.
Yeah, I got the Dying Light 2 game. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I really fucking like those games. I've been playing. I got the fucking Xbox fucking Ultimate Pass or whatever the fuck it's
Yeah.
called.
There's so many
And
games on
that
there.
shit's insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's so many games for like $15 a month, dude.
Yeah.
And I used to talk so much shit on Xbox, dude. Like I was like avid PlayStation. And then I finally got an Xbox and I was like, oh wow, this is fire. I've been fucking missing out this whole time.
Yeah, dude.
They have like all the Gears of Wars for free, like everything, homie.
Mortal
It's
Kombat's
crazy.
on there. Yeah.
Yeah, all the Mortal Kombats, bro. I fucking went and downloaded hella shit. All the skates. So I've been fucking with
Wolfenstein,
that.
if you want to kill some Nazis.
Yep, exactly, bro. It's crazy how many fucking games they have on there for free. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I've been trying to. I haven't played in like a couple weeks, but
Yeah, I can't imagine having time to do that when you're like, if you look at what you do, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
having time for video games. Like I barely have time for it, but it's a big hobby of mine.
yeah, dude. I get home after work and I have to work for like another like 4 or 5 hours, but it's worth it. Hopefully, I'll be rich soon, and then I can just fucking tell everyone to suck my nuts and just write raps for a living.
Well, I think like if you continue this trajectory, I think you might get there. Honestly, it's looking
What's
pretty good.
crazy? I've only been doing Gruesome for a year.
What?
Yeah, a year.
You were Freak Show before, right? Is that right?
Yeah. No, when I was in Illtrix, I was Gruesome too. I used to be Freak Show, but when my brother Effect passed, I changed my name. But I've only been doing like my solo Gruesome music. Play Haters was the first track I released solo.
That's sick, dude. Good job.
So that was it's only a year ago. I've only been doing Gruesome for a year, which is crazy.
Congrats, man. Like I said, if you continue this trajectory, I think good things would definitely happen for you.
I'm hoping, man. I'm sick of the fucking bad things happening.
Yeah, to everyone, but like especially to you. Like after hearing your whole backstory, man, like you've been through a lot, and it is really inspirational to see you where you're at and see that you're responsible for so much amazing art.
Oh fuck, dude, and that ain't the half of it. My life fucking sucked, but it's cool because I feel like it made me into who I am, and I feel like it's gonna pay off in the future. Like I'm way too street smart and way too like I can read people way too well to be fucked over. I feel like everything that had to happen to me bad for me to learn all the lessons I needed to learn in life happened, and I feel like hopefully now I can move forward and like finally as a 27-year-old man start to live a fucking happy, normal life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, 27, you're still very young, man. There's a lot of good years ahead of you, I think.
Well, I'm 26. I'm about to be 27. I don't even remember my own age.
Yeah, still young as hell, man. You got a lot of good years ahead of you. Like, and you definitely see a lot of horrorcore artists and artists in general don't even reach their peak until their mid 30s, you know. And then you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
his voice got way cooler over the years, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's the thing. Yeah, all my old shit. When you go and listen to it, I was like a little teenager, so I definitely have that growth too. But yeah, I'm definitely still young for how. But it's because I've been doing it for so long.
yeah, well, you got a really cool range for sure. You got the raspy, you got the deep voice, and then a whole bunch of other shit, especially like, I don't know, I feel like
Serenade you, you know?
yeah, there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot. Runaway, I started touching my nipples a little bit the first time.
Yeah, hard. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, man, I see. So, but that's what I'm saying. I like to be eclectic. You know what I mean? I don't like somebody to be like, oh, he sounds like that. Like, I feel like I sound like me, you know,
Yeah,
because I am so all over the place, and I like to show what my voice can do, you know.
even your look, your aesthetic is all over the place. I mean, like your mask is so fucking random. Like,
Yeah.
you want to go into that real quick? Like, how you design that?
So my first one here, you got it. My first boy was like the dead gray one. And I hit up Ron and I was like, I really just want like a mask that's like my dead face. Like I want it to just be like cold gray dead skin with like my face tattoos and you know. So yeah, this was the first version that we came on. I did the zipper mouth kind of. I just said that we came on. You heard that? Pause, son. That was gay as it. But yeah, this is the first one that we fucking did.
You bukkake.
Yeah, I bukkakeed this boy. But the insides all look like a severed face.
That's sweet, dude. That's awesome.
Signed by Ron. And I did the zipper mouth like as a homage to Slipknot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that.
The big part of like forming me into what I wanted to be as an artist. I don't think I sound anything like Slipknot, so if anyone wants to say I'm biting from them, you can suck my dick. But
yeah, I don't think so.
And then, well, I've had people try to like tag me like I'm wearing their mask, and I'm like, this is 110% custom mask, son. I just have the zipper mouth, so suck a dick. But yeah. So, but then when I did this one, I hit him up and I was like, I want it to be more of like a fresh flesh tone type of shit, and I want it to be a little gnarlier. And he himself was like, I'm gonna go in and make this one fucking crazier than the last one, which he did. It even has tendons in the mouth, like.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. It kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, sort of reminded me of the Chuckles mask too, like just like how brutal
Ron
it is.
did Chuckles mask too, yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Man.
So I think me and Chuckles and maybe like I think Spec One were like the first ones to have masks from Ron. Now everybody and their fucking mom does.
And what's his full name?
Ron Sambil, Sambile.
Okay.
He's from the Philippines and he's fucking gnarly with it, bro. He does all my shit.
I think he did Mars' mask too. I think Mars talked about him on his episode.
Maybe.
Mars' newest mask, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen his newest one. It's possible. He might have seen my mask and went and got one from him.
I could be wrong, but we'll see. I'd have to go back to that.
Like episode. I said, everybody, I feel like ever since I got one, everybody and their fucking mom did.
Yeah.
Like, everybody has a Ron Sambo mask. And it kind of sucks because it, like, saturated the fuck out of my market. You know what I'm saying?
Your shit's still fresh, though. Nothing looks like that.
Like, that's facts. That's for sure. But, yeah, everybody and their fucking mom is doing it. But Ron's the shit, bro. And I have I have no hate on him getting all the money he can. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I want something from him now.
Well, fucking do it, bro. He's the shit, and he does all my shit. He does all my replicas. So he's gnarly with it.
And the
But
Crown of Thorns,
yeah,
was that a part of the whole concept, or was that something on this that you came up with like separately?
yeah. I was saying maybe we could do like a crown of thorns, and it was like he was like, I actually just started molding a bunch of those and making those, so it was like kind of like perfect timing. I was one of the first people to get one of these, but yeah, they're fucking gnarly.
Oh, that's sick. I don't
Yeah, and
think
it's all fully detachable and shit.
I didn't even know it was detachable. I thought it was part of the mask.
No, yeah, the crown of thorns is fully detachable. I can take that bitch on and off and put it on whenever. But
That's awesome. You can
yeah,
jump around a lot and it doesn't fly off.
yeah, no,
Oh, that's sick.
yeah, I fucking wear this shit on stage
That's dope, man. And then
because
you
it's
also
like,
you also got that bulletproof vest, right?
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah.
When did that start?
I started rocking that like I don't know, like 6 months ago, something like that. I went and got the vest, and then I went and got it embroidered with the CC patch on the front,
That's
and I
dope.
started rocking that shit at shows. Yeah,
Just that with the mask, it just makes you look like you're just like this fucking video game boss that like you have to take down or something like. It's like,
bro, I come into shows and people are just like, "Oh fuck, okay, all right."
yeah, man, it's like the mask is like the mask, you know. But you're used to seeing like a horror shirt or like a band shirt under a mask, but when you see a bulletproof vest under the mask, it's like,
Yeah,
is this a fucking action horror sci-fi villain about to fucking
right. Like,
murk
what
the
the fuck
room?
is this guy doing?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, no,
That's,
I like wearing a lot of weird shit, but yeah, the bulletproof vest is sick. It's like I'm ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. Well, unfortunately, you might need it one day because like a lot of dumb shit going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's factuals. Well, I'll
Well,
be ready. I already got mine, and it looks cool.
yep. Except if someone sees a bulletproof face or vest, they just aim for the face, right? You gotta get a
Right.
bulletproof mask now.
That's what I'm saying. I need to line this bitch with fucking
Teflon.
Teflon and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's smart.
Right,
Get you a bulletproof backpack. You know, you'll be all set.
right. That's what I'm saying, bro. But yeah, no, I've been doing that for a little while, but yeah, it's cool. I really I work a lot on my aesthetic and the way I look. You know what I'm saying? Like the clothes I wear, the chains I wear, how I dress, tattoos,
It
a
all
lot of
fit.
shit.
It all fits really well together, like a puzzle too. Like it's
Yeah,
you've kind of created this own little world of your own. I think.
yeah, yeah, and I like it, man. Uh, that's the thing though. I've always like prided myself on just kind of like when I was a kid. I feel like being a juggalo really kind of drug me away from the things I like. Cause like no hate, but when you're growing up in the juggalo community, it's kind of like if you don't like it, if you like anything non-juggalo for the most part, they'll clown you. Like at least that's how it was where I was growing up.
Yo, how do you think it was growing in the hardcore scene wearing Juggalo shirts, man? That was not
Yeah,
easy.
and that's what I'm saying. And I'm going around my juggalo homies, painted nails and fucking, you know what I'm saying? So they're
Yeah,
all just like looking at me like I'm weird, and I'm like, say that to the guitarist of Slayer, and they'll fucking shoot you in the mouth, like
yeah.
so. But that's the thing. I feel like that whole thing kind of just like oppressed me out of liking a lot of the things that I liked for a little while until I got to a point where I was like, fuck this, dude. Like, I'm going to like what the fuck I like. And then I just ran with that to the fullest. Like, I don't give a fuck how anybody else feels about shit. Like, I like to be me and like genuinely me. You know what I mean? Like, I like to dress how I like to dress. I like to fucking look how I like to look, say what I want to say. Like, I really don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care what anybody else feels about me for the most part.
Hey, man, and that's just what makes you all the more special, you know? Because you can tell. You can tell. People
Yeah.
wouldn't put on that mask and a crown of thorns and a bulletproof vest if they didn't give a fuck what other people thought. You know what I mean?
And I got a crown of thorns tattooed across my fucking forehead.
That's
so.
right. That's right. Wasn't that a couple months ago?
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, not bad, honestly.
Oh, really?
My face is so easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's like the easiest. Like I have really painful areas tattooed. Like I got my elbow like blacked out.
Mm,
I got my ditch blacked out. I
yeah.
got my thighs tattooed, my toes, my ankles. I have my knuckles all the way down to my cuticles. I have necks. I got sides of my head. I got fucking chests, backs. I got a lot of fucking shitty areas tattooed. But my face, bro, I could fall asleep. Like this whole tattoo, when she was all in here, I didn't feel a single fucking thing. Like the only parts that were kind of like pinchy and annoying were up here in the corners
Damn.
because I was having like nerve jumps in my leg. But that's it, bro. Like I literally was like about to fall asleep the whole time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So get face tattoos.
I'm not gonna do that.
They're fire.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I think
Going this weekend, I'm getting EJ's logo tattooed down the side of my face. So, R.I.P. EJ.
Word, dude.
Yeah,
Can't wait to see that. That's this weekend.
yeah, Saturday.
Word. I'll look out for it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a post.
Hell yeah. We're about the end of the questions and in the interview, but do you have anything you want to plug, talk about before we close it out?
Yeah, go check out our fucking merch store, CerberusClique.com, .gruesome.com. We got a lot of fucking dope shit on there. We're running a sale all November. So make sure you check that shit the fuck out. Pre-orders for 4 horns are available now. We have bundles with just a CD all the way up to bundles with all types of crazy shit for all budgets, $15 up to $100 and everywhere in between. So go check that shit out.
What's the release date on that? 4 horns?
Like the very end of November, like the 30th or something.
Awesome. That's soon.
Yeah, super soon. And then, so yeah, go check all that out. Go check out the fucking merch store. Go slap my new album everywhere you fucking listen to music. Gruesome, self-titled. Anywhere you stream music, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever the fuck you want to listen to it, slap that shit. Cerberus Clique or die slow, bitch.
Hell yeah. Thanks a lot, man.
Of course, bro. Thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Cemetery when no one else is awake. I take some time for myself and let me break. I always felt like I needed an escape, but I can't do that to my people, so I talk amongst the graves. Why have I always felt different, distant? Wish I had somebody who would listen, pissing my whole life away. I feel home around the grave. Listen, all my people take it from me. Listen, distance is nothing. I sit by your grave and watch it glisten. In the pale moonlight, hear the hissing of snakes in the grass. That's part of my mission. Yeah. Forgive me, but if I'm missing, then you know where I'll be. I feel the break inside, let the bass hit high. Will I take my life? I know. Rose petals on the ground, got a blunt in my mouth. Rock hard on the table, I'm coming. Let's face this life ain't for me, best to let me go. I spend most of my time walking cemetery roads. You can find me at the crossroads, selling confidence and lost souls. All these things that it foretold, didn't have a bunch of prison, now my mouth is full of gold. The cemetery where I found my peace, I can feel all the spirits that surrounded me. That got me to you when I was led astray, clawing aimlessly at the earth trying to dig my grave. They say that they know just how I feel, but they can only fantasize this nightmare I live. A voice stuck inside a rotting corpse. You got the blunt while I got the torch. The broken tombstone is kind of like a frog porch. So next time you walk in and feel that breeze, you know the source. I feel the break inside, let the bass hit high. Will I take my life? I know. Rose petals on the ground, got a blunt in my mouth. Rock hard on the table, I'm cold. Let's face this life ain't for me, best to let me go. I spend most of my time walking cemetery roads.